We live on Who's Mizzou Network, who I had the pleasure with speaking to today.
Coach Reggie Walker, Anacostia girls varsity basketball coach.
Coach Walker, congratulations on your, defending back-to-back DCIAA titles, last year. What are some of your upcoming season goals this year?
Well, upcoming season goal is first is to win the regular season, then secondly win our tournament, and then for the third time, and then get into the states and ultimately get to that championship and give ourselves an opportunity to win the state championship this year.
Gotcha. Y'all took a tough loss in the state tournament last year. Right after that game, what did you tell your girls in the locker room to prepare them mentally for this season ahead?
That game is over with. It was yesterday, and as of now, a new season starts. Let's get back in the gym. Let's start working on next year. And what we did was all summer, majority of the returning players played on the circuit. One with Fairfax Stars, Baltimore, EYBL team. The other 3 or 4 played with PSA. So they all had an opportunity to travel on the circuit to Hampton, Virginia, Louisville, Kentucky, and Chicago. And a couple of places, Philadelphia and New Jersey as well. Got
you. So basically, on the girls' side of the DCIAA, Anacostia been running things, for the last 2 years. How do you keep your girls level-headed and humble when the competition, night in, night out, they looking down? They may look down on their competition. How do you keep them humble and level-headed and get them to not underestimate any opponent?
Well, one of my favorite motivational speakers is Eric Thomas. Y'all may know him as E.T. So Eric Thomas always talk about the difference between a lion and a gazelle. So here in Anacostia, when we talk about that, we say you both a lion and a gazelle. The lion, you got to stay hungry, you got to eat. You become a gazelle because there's other folks that's after you. So there's nothing wrong with being a gazelle, as long as you ain't that last gazelle. Because the last gazelle is the one that's going to get eaten. So that's the way we look at it, that we're always hungry, we always want to eat, and we never want to be last.
Gotcha.
Other thing we tell our girls is that our glass is always empty because we stay thirsty.
Got you.
I like that.
What's your team motto? What's your team MO? Like when Anacostia come in the gym, what can the fans and crowd expect to happen? What's the motto?
That we're gonna work hard. That's part of our saying. We have one goal, we have one attitude, we have one championship. Every game for us is a championship, and that's the way we look at it. At the end of the day, we believe in hard work and dedication to our craft. Not just here in the gym, but also in the classroom. Right now, at the end of this first quarter, we have 7 out of 10 girls that's on the honor roll. So that's 70% of our team.
That's great. That's good.
Yeah, that's great. So we believe in that. That's what we believe in. That's what our motto is: hard work on and off the court.
Got you. Any players that should be having breakout years? Name some players that you think should be having breakout years this year?
Well, senior Raven Hawkins, number 20, she should have her breakout year, as well as senior Michelle Banks, number 5, she should also have her breakout year this year. They are now 4-year varsity players. They've been on the varsity since their freshman year. We also want to surprise some folks with 6'2", Brenda McKinney Jr.
Okay.
So they should all have breakout years, and hopefully my point guard that was a sophomore last year, Cameron Anthony, who's backing up Maya, should step in that starting role now and see what she can do.
Got you. How you feel about girls basketball in the DCIAA?
Girls basketball in the DCIAA is coming. Wilson should have a pretty decent team. Dunbar, of course, they've been working hard. And surprisingly enough is Banneker. Gotcha. You cannot sleep on Banneker. I know a couple of girls over Eastern. I know they've been working hard. So it looks like everybody is picking up on that the summer is where you get better. The summer is where you win the championship. And so if everybody takes on that attitude that we're going to work during the summer, then the DCIAA basketball is going to pick up, and it's going to surprise some folks.
Got you. I believe that's possible. I most definitely believe that's possible.
So, Coach, what's one of your main focuses on this season as far as just your schedule and everything? Like, how do you keep everything balanced as for your team from school to your actual big games? So you're one of the only girls basketball teams to play a lot of big games and tournaments.
Well, that's our focus. We want to play the big games to prepare ourselves for our league games. So we believe you can't get better unless you bump with those who are just as good as you or better. So that's what we believe in. So we don't dodge no bump. We're gonna get in there. We're gonna do our best to against whoever we play.
And Coach Walker, thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak with you. Before we get out of here, can you shout out Who's Mizzou Network for me?
Who's Mizzou Network?
Thank you,
Number
Coach.
one network in the DC area.
Yeah, straight up.
Thank y'all, guys.
Straight up. We live on Who's Mizzou Network. Who I have right here?
Shay Banks,
What's your class position?
a senior, 2019.
Got you, Miss Banks. What is the season goals you all have here at Anacostia?
Our goals is to win another championship. And just get better as a team.
Got you. What are some aspects and skills you worked on your game in the all season?
My dribbling, like crossovers, and my shooting.
Got you. What's your role on the team?
Point guard, shooting guard.
Got you. Individual goals you have personally for yourself this upcoming season?
To get an offer from a college for basketball.
Got you. That's most definitely a good goal. What's the approach on this season, being back-to-back DCIAA champions? Coach, he told me about being the lion and the gazelle, so y'all are being hunted since y'all are back-to-back champions. So, like, what's the approach? How y'all mentally prepare for that?
We just ready for anybody. We got a good mindset. You know, every game we think, well, we know we're gonna win. That's just our mindset as a team.
Got you. What do Anacostia got to do to capture that third DCIAA title in a row?
Like more support. Like need more people from the school to support us.
Got you. Got you. One time before we get up out of here, just shout out Who's Mizzou Network.
Shout out to Who's Mizzou Network.
All right. We live on Who's Mizzou Network, who I had the pleasure with speaking with.
Cameron Anthony, class of 2020.
Miss Anthony, what is some of the season goals you all have
First
here?
want to win the DCIAA championships, and then we want to win states.
Got you. What was that feeling like? You was a part of the team last year. Y'all actually lost in the states to St. John's. What was that feeling like, and how did that motivate you?
I feel like we really could have beat them, but fatigue and mental state beat us. So
Got you.
we
Got you.
didn't win.
What are some skills you worked on in the off season?
My pull-up, because that's a lost aspect in the game. So ball handling, because I am a point guard. So that's what I worked on.
Got you.
And confidence.
Got you. What's your role and what do you bring to the table for the Lady Indians?
I think I can bring in quickness and just an all-around basketball player.
Got you. What's your approach since, Anacostia Lady, and y'all the top dog here in the DCIAA. We all know that. So how do you stay humble, and how do you and your teammates stay humble and level-headed? And, since y'all being hunted, how do you just stay level and humble?
We just know that DCIAA isn't the only thing, and we have other, like Title IX, we have everybody else who's looking for us and ready for us.
Got you. Speak about the Title IX tournament and them other tournaments and about that exposure.
We won the Title IX tournament in our bracket. It was a very exciting feeling, because I know a lot of people thought that we couldn't do it.
Got you. I'm rooting for y'all. Anything DCIAA, man, I'm rooting for y'all when y'all play the charters, private schools. I'm most definitely, Who's Mizzou Network, most definitely rooting for the DCIAA mobs. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you. One time before we get up out of here, just shout out Who's Mizzou Network.
Shout out to Who's Mizzou Network.
We live on Who's Mizzou Network, who I had the pleasure with speaking with.
Raven Hawkins, class of 2K19.
Hawkins, what are y'all season goals this year?
To win the DCIAA and states.
Got you. What are some skills and aspects you worked on your game over the summer?
Dribbling, layups, crossovers.
What are some of your individual goals you have for yourself this year?
Some individual goals I got for myself this year is to work hard and go hard all the time.
Got you. What Anacostia got to do to capture their third DCIAA title in 4 years?
We got to stick as a team, work as a team, hustle. And yeah.
Got you. Thank you, Ms. Hawkins. Before we get up out of here, can you shout out Who's Mizzou Network for me?
Who's Mizzou?
We live on Who's Mizzou Network, who I got the pleasure to speak with.
I'm Melody Brandon, class of 2019.
Got you. Miss Brandon, what are the season goals here for the Lady Indians?
First, to win out our division, and then get to states and try to beat, whoever's up coming to us.
Got you,
We
got
trying
you,
to
got you.
defeat them.
You're a transfer. Speak about being the new additions to the Lady Indians.
Okay, so I came over here because my dad is an alumni here.
Okay.
Plus, I wanted to come over with Michelle and Raven. We played middle school ball together, so I wanted to finish out high school with them. We graduated middle school, so I just wanted to come and play with them for my last year of school. We were close friends and stuff, so I just wanted to come here, and I want to better impact the team.
Got you, got you. Do you feel any pressure since you all had the bullseye on your back, back-to-back defending DCIAA champions? Do you feel any pressure?
Ooh, that's a great question. Yes, I get a lot of messages. Oh, you put an Anna? Yeah, it's definitely a lot of pressure coming to us.
Got you. What you think your role is on the team?
My role is to control the floor. I'm the point guard. I have to set up the floor, let everybody know, oh, this is what you're supposed to be doing, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Just to better and practice players and stuff.
Got you. What's some individual goals you have for yourself this year?
To make it out of DC, definitely. And I want to play college ball, be successful, you know.
Got you. Got you. Thank you for giving me the pleasure to speak with you.
Yes, sir.
Before we get up out of here, could you shout out Who's Mizzou Network for me?
Shout out Who's Mizzou Network.
Thank you.